Hello, friends, and welcome to episode number 44 of a Disney Life podcast. This is a place where we love to talk about all things Disney, regardless of where we happen to be in the world today. And we always appreciate all of you friends, our listeners out there joining in with us. In today's episode, we'll be visiting with our friend Parker, who was a high school student that recently visited Walt Disney World along with his high school band. So we're getting a little bit different of a look of things today. We recently had a retiree on to tell us about a trip, and now we have a high schooler on to tell us about his experiences and make recommendations to other teenagers out there. He'll also have a top 5 for us later on of his top 5 recommendations for teens to ride that are not thrill rides. So rides that are still entertaining, but won't make your stomach drop out when you ride. My name is Missy, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Rachel. Hey, Rachel, it's great to chat with you today.
It's great to chat with you and with Parker, our first, I guess, kind of in-studio guest, so that's exciting.
That's right. I've got Parker sitting right here with me in my home studio, aka back bedroom. We're squeezing in here nice and cozy together today to talk all things Disney. So thanks for checking in with us today. We hope you'll stick around for today's episode. Well, hello, Parker, and welcome to you today. Thank you for joining us on our podcast.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
So Parker recently visited Walt Disney World in Orlando with his high school band, and it was a big group, and it was quite an experience. This was a week-long trip for them from start to finish. You've heard me talk about this trip several times because Parker is in the same high school marching band that my daughter Annie is, and this is the same trip that I was on when I stayed at Disney's Wilderness Lodge, but those band kids did not stay at a deluxe resort like I did, so they had a very different experience. While I was dealing with flight delays and getting myself to Orlando, Parker, how did you get down there?
So we actually took a charter bus, and we had a couple of problems along the way, but we also stopped at some pretty fun places like Buc-ee's. I love Buc-ee's. It was, I think, my second time experiencing Buc-ee's, but I got a nice pair of pajama pants, and no, I was cruising the rest of the way down.
They were in these cozy, so you mentioned pajama pants. Did you get pants and the full piece onesie that I saw,
yes,
or is that another thing?
I got the full piece onesie too.
I think we've got a photo of the kiddos in their onesies, so
Yes.
we can get that up on our socials for
Okay.
you guys to enjoy too. So I know you've been to Disney before. Tell us a little bit about what your Disney experience previous to this trip was, and if there was anything you were looking forward to that you wanted to do again or didn't do last time.
Yeah. All right. Last time I went, I was with my dad, and we went in around September. We only went to Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom, and we were there for one day each. My dad's wife she's used to Disney. She goes there fairly often, but I was not. So I was like taken in by all the sights. The castle, I loved the castle. It looked so gorgeous.
Did you say that was September or
Yes,
December? September. So it was hot then.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So I think that makes a difference overall too in your trip, like what the weather's like. Did you notice a difference? Did that factor in for you at all in your enjoyment of this trip, like the weather?
Really?
Okay.
I'm one that like really likes hot weather, but like when I'm sleeping, I like really cold weather. But I really love the hot weather.
Luckily, none of us had to worry about your sleeping conditions.
Yeah, really. I know.
All right. So you have been there before. Was there anything you were really, really looking forward to in particular?
Well, I was really looking forward to Pirates of the Caribbean because it was one of my favorite movies when I was growing up. So I was really excited for the ride.
I haven't seen the Pirates.
How old were you during your first trip? Do you remember?
I was 16.
Okay.
It was
not-
pretty recent. It was just a couple years
Okay.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty
years
recent.
ago was his first trips. I think there was probably still a lot he didn't experience that last time
Yeah.
since he just had the 2 different park days. So, all right. So you had your big long bus drive, which was a
Yes.
lot of fun, and you went to Buc-ee's. And you rode a bus overnight from Pennsylvania to Orlando, and you arrived on a Sunday afternoon. Was it groovy?
It was pretty groovy. All right. It was saying at Pop Century. It was very nice.
Yeah.
So they had
Did you get any sleep?
No, I got
Oh,
zero
yeah.
sleep. Those buses were very uncomfortable, but it was a nice time.
Yes.
They were nice looking buses. I saw photos of the buses and they looked good, but it's not like they were junky old buses. They were pretty new, but there's
Yeah.
only so comfortable you can be
Yeah, on a
when you're
bus.
sitting upright in a seat with another kid. I mean, basically like this, probably even
Yeah.
closer right next
Yeah.
to you. So, and the buses were pretty full. They had a lot of snacks for you kids, right?
Yes,
They,
a
I
lot
mean,
of
our
snacks.
directors are amazing. Shout out to all high school band directors who are willing to take their kids on any field trip, especially a huge trip like to Disney World. We have incredible directors in our school district. We're so fortunate for that. And they do this every few years with our band. So they've really got it down to a science, but it is never easy, no matter how many times you've done it, to ride a bus like that overnight. So I kind of expected the kids to all be zombies, but I did stop over and visit you guys when you got there that night at Pop Century. And I mean, they were all just wired, so excited and so happy to be there. So
Yeah.
why don't you tell us what it
Maybe
was
a little
like?
delirious.
Yeah, they're probably delirious, every
Yeah.
single one of them, yes, and very caffeinated at the, Coke refill machines, probably.
Yes.
So tell us what it was like when you got there and, how your room was. Do you think that it was a good hotel choice or
I thought it was a nice hotel choice. I like how, like, there's, like we got to wander around and, like, each area was, like, a different century. It was really cool. I think we were in the 90s or 80s, one of the 2.
so you were at Pop Century and it was a different decade for each,
Yes.
right? Different decades.
Yeah.
And you were in the, I think, 90s section, right? And you had the big
The computer.
the big laptop
Okay.
pool there. Yep, they were
Yeah.
right behind the giant folding laptop by that pool there.
Nice.
So it was kind of nice that they were all in one section. Disney will assign youth groups like this to a block of rooms. So they're all together. Working with them as the person handling their group, it was handy for me that I was able to let them know if there were any rooms in particular that you didn't want to have connecting doors. For example, if you didn't want the male rooms matching up with the female rooms, of course, for obvious reasons of noise and smell.
Yeah.
It was great to have them all together in one spot, but also not too close for some purposes. What did you do that first night when you got there? You just looked around or?
The first night. Well, actually, when I got there, I immediately put all my clothes away because I'm very tedious about organizing. But it was a very nice room. It was pretty
Mhm.
small, but it was like very nice. 2 double beds. But when we got there, it was actually Super Bowl weekend. So I actually watched the Super Bowl and the halftime show, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Did you watch it in your room?
Yeah.
Or did okay. I didn't think
Okay.
to look and see if they were playing it anywhere else when we were there, and I do that. Like, sometimes they'll put up the inflatable screens out by the pool or something for movies, like they do a movie night.
Yes.
I don't know if they did the Super Bowl or not. I meant to check. So, but that's fun.
Were there 4 to a room, or did you guys only have 2 to a room?
Well, my group, it was 4. It was like 4 to a room, but you can go smaller, but it was more cost.
Right.
So for my room, we went with 3, and it was me and 2 other band members.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the rooms were quad occupancy. There were a few of them that were 3, a couple that were 2. So that was up to the students to be able to determine with their group leader. That's what they let them do, was choose who they wanted to room with. So a
Okay.
4 probably would have been pushing it,
Yeah.
4 if you in one room with your stuff. I don't know if you would have had space to put it all away in that case.
Yeah.
But the beds at Pop Century do have the one queen size bed that is raised, so there's room for luggage under
Yeah.
there. I don't know if you guys did that. You put suitcases and stuff under there, and then the fold down table bed. Did you guys fold that back up during your stay, or did you leave that bed just down the whole time?
We left it down.
Yeah, just easier.
Yeah.
All right, so Super Bowl Sunday, you got to bed. You sleep okay that night?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
slept pretty okay. That was
Okay.
very nice. That was very nice
After the
compared to
bus the
us.
night before, yeah, best
Yeah.
bed ever. And then I think you were up bright and early that next morning, right, to have
Yes.
breakfast together as a group.
Yes, and then we went right to Disney Springs. It was fun. It was a fun trip. I
Okay.
loved the band during that. It was like a very cool moment.
So their performance was at the waterfront stage at Disney Springs. So it's a stage that backs right up to the big lake there in the middle of Disney Springs. They played at 11 a.m. and they were so lucky to have just absolutely beautiful weather. And they had a lot of local people that went down to see them, as well as some other people that were just visiting who just stopped in because you guys had quite a variety of music that you played.
Yes, very wide variety. We already play a wide variety of music for our marching band show, and then for our stand tunes that we play in the stands during football games. Our field show this year circled around the concept of time. So we had some cool songs like "Clocks" by Coldplay, "The Time Warp," songs like that. It was pretty cool.
It was a big variety of music. It was cool.
Right.
And then they played a bunch of songs that they play in the stands at football games. So rather than typical concert music that you may hear from a seated band performing a concert, it was more peppy marching band style. And I think it
Okay.
all went flawlessly.
Yes, I think
Actually,
it did.
was great. So, and then they got that performance out of the way very quickly. It was a very first thing they did was get up in the morning and head to Disney Springs and have that performance. And then the rest of the week was all fun.
Yes, it was so much.
No other commitments, no other work down there.
Okay. So you got the work out of the way first. That's
Yeah.
nice.
We also got those really cool
That is smart.
imagination pens.
Right. So they take them to the Imagination Campus area, which is kind of near Disney Casting and the Disney Springs area. And that's where they have all of the kids gather and meet up and get organized. Of course, Disney has some representatives there to help them out. I think, did you get a trophy? The band got a trophy to take home with them and put in the band room. And then they each got a special pin, Imagination Campus pin, which is only something that you can get if you actually perform there with one of these shows. So that's a special keepsake for each of them too that Disney offered to all of them. So I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah,
Before
I think it's really nice.
So Rachel actually performed there. You danced, right?
I did. I was in show choir, so I danced, and we did not get a pin that I remember, but that
it was a few years ago.
That was decades ago at this point.
And that was at Magic Kingdom you danced, right? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
that was inside Tomorrowland.
Right. Okay. Very cool. I wish they offered something inside of the park as far as a performance besides just the parade. They usually do the parade, and for various reasons, they decided to try something else this year. But I think it really worked out well, specifically because you didn't have to have a park ticket to get in if you were a parent or family or just somebody local wanting to head down to see the show. They were still able to see it. I think I've mentioned that here before. So that part went really well. By the time I was able to leave that stage area after just kind of greeting and chatting with a lot of local people I ran into there, these kids were already gone. We went right back to the Imagination Campus area. They packed up their instruments and they headed to the park.
Yes, we went to Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom was the first day.
Yes.
All right, so that was your first time at Animal Kingdom too, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. What did you think of it?
I thought that it was really cool because I love nature. So I got to experience a lot of cool different things there. Like the Pandora section was beautiful. And I was just looking at like the floating islands and stuff. I was like, I want to know how like engineered and did the architecture for it to keep it up there, especially
Pretty
through
cool.
storms.
I think there's some shows on Disney Plus about that actually.
Really?
Like for real. Yeah. You go watch them. We'll have a gathering of the kiddos and we'll watch Imagineering Store. I'm pretty sure. I know I've seen things about the building of Animal Kingdom and Pandora specifically. So yeah, pretty cool. All right. So what did you do once you got to the park? Like, did you walk around? Did you go on rides? Tell us about what you did that afternoon.
So when we got there, we took a couple pictures at the entrance, but then I was starting to get like very, very hot because of the uniforms we had to wear. So I stopped and bought a pair of shorts. They're very nice. They're nice tan shorts.
Parker, that is not very accurate. You were told to bring shorts and you did not. Many of the students brought shorts to change into after the performance. Some of them did not. So some of them ended up in matching shorts because they needed to buy just what was in the park because they didn't bring
roommate.
Yeah, his roommate. Go figure.
So
that's why he was hot, not because they were forced to wear their uniforms to the park, because he did not pack a change of clothes.
Then after that, we went on the safari ride, which I thought was really cool because I love safari animals. I think my favorite one that I saw there was definitely had to be the giraffes. They looked very nice, very healthy looking.
That's well, healthy looking's good. I'm always amazed when I see giraffes because it's like, how is it real? Like, you almost want to reach out and touch it. Like, it looks pretend. It looks because you're used to seeing things like that only on TV. So when you see it in real life and they're walking and they're so big, but somehow they're also still so majestic and like. I can't come up with the word here. Like they move so gently that they don't look real, but they are real. So yeah.
Well, I saw one running on my last one and their heads bobble up and down. It was quite comical. Like it was just like a broken neck animal running through there.
Well, that's not as graceful as what I was picturing, but yeah,
not at all. It was not graceful.
Stuff.
It was very funny.
Yeah. So you had a good safari then. That's good. It used to be, I felt like the best safaris were in the morning, but that wasn't the case for me this time either. I was there in the afternoon also, and I thought the safari was great. There were a lot of animals. We saw the lions out prowling around. That was pretty cool. Did you see them?
Yeah.
Okay, so what next?
After that, we went on Flight of Passage, and I'm not a big one for thrill rides. And they were like, yeah, it's just like a motion sensor and it'd be okay. So I got onto the ride, and then like as soon as it strapped me in, I was like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Then the ride finally started. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like die. And then it was over.
But you
It was
didn't
so
die.
it was
You
I
didn't,
actually really
yeah.
enjoyed it.
How about it? You really enjoyed it. So did my dad.
good.
So this was the part of the trip when my dad ditched us and went with a group of kids, and he was like the grandpa following along to ride Flight of Passage. So thank you for taking care of Papa Bill, because he wanted to ride too. So around this time, I remember running into you in the park. It's kind of crazy. You know, we were down there. We had a group of 82 kids, and you'd go for hours and hours and not see any of them. And then all of a sudden, there's like, oh, there's a group over there. There's a group over there. They didn't hang out in big groups. They were allowed to determine between themselves who they were with, as long as they had a partner for the sake of safety.
Okay.
But I think around this time is when you had the scooter debacle.
Yes, the scooters.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I think I might have mentioned that. I don't know if I mentioned it on the air or not, but we had a student who was in need of a scooter for mobility reasons, and they went through that entire day not knowing that the brake was on the scooter.
The brake was on the entire time. It was going so slow. And I'm like, why is this thing going so slow? We don't know why. We thought it was the battery. We switched the
Yeah.
battery.
So at that point, we saw you, and Levi helped them change out the battery. My husband helped them change out the battery in the scooter. And we're like, okay, you should be good now. We'll see you later. And then we left them, and it didn't go great for
It did
them.
not go great. So then after that, we made our way to Expedition Everest.
Very slowly.
Very.
Yeah, I was about to say very slow. That's a trek anyways.
So once we get there, I'm not one for rides like that. So I waited in the line. The wait line looked beautiful. And I saw like a little fountain that had a whole bunch of like coins and stuff in it, and money. I was like, oh, free Disney money. But I didn't say,
I think stealing everybody's wishes is what you're supposed to do. Avoid taking them out of there. Yeah, but it is a very elaborately decorated queue area. Very cool.
So I took the scooter once we got to the thing, and I parked it outside, and I waited for everyone.
So that's a ride that they actually have you take the scooter through the ride with you, and then they hold it there at the entrance. And at one point, the ride was down, and the kids were panicking, and Annie was texting me saying, we can't get out of here. We're going to miss our check-in, because they had a time they were supposed to meet up with their directors. And, you know, I don't know what the band kids in your life are like, but the ones I know are very, very responsible. So worst case scenario would have been being late for that check-in. So they were so panicked.
And then we got to Scooter Story Part 2, where we have like 10 minutes to get across the entire part with the very, very slow scooter. So all of us took turns pushing the scooter as fast as possible across the park.
Poor scooter.
We were surprised they didn't have motor issues after that, but we were like pushing as hard as we can. I'm sure we have photos of it.
Oh, there's absolutely photos of that. I've seen them. Yep, photos of that. But they made it there right on time, exactly at their check-in time. And when the bus driver loaded it on the bus, he said, your brake is on. And then everybody said, oh. So I can't say that, I mean, that was necessarily something that happened because they were teenagers doing this park on their own, because it never occurred to me. It never occurred to Levi. We had 4 grandparents along with us. Everybody knew of the situation, and nobody thought to say, is there a brake on this scooter? Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought it was something that you do with your hand, like like a hand brake, not a.
Where was the brake?
It was like underneath the carriage. Not the whole, and it's like an emergency,
like an emergency brake type thing,
but
which makes sense.
The thing was, like, the lever was kind of loose, so it kept falling down.
Well, maybe it was on sometimes and not all the time.
Yeah, well, I think it turned on because me and the student, we went to the really, really bumpy part of Pop Century right before going to bed.
Okay.
Before Animal Kingdom, and it was like really bouncy.
So you think it shook it to lock before? Yeah. You hadn't had trouble the night before. That was confusing about. So anyway, I don't think there were any other scooter issues for the rest of the week after that, where they had it all figured out. Once they knew it had
figured it out.
2 batteries and they both needed to be charged, and they learned how to swap them out, and the brake was off, and they were ready to roll with that at that point. So, and then you had some free time that night, right? Back at the pool, or what'd you do when you got back there? Or arcade?
So, when we got back, I immediately ate dinner because I'm one who loves food. But then after that,
what did you have there? Do you remember? Was there something in particular at Pop Century you loved to eat?
I had the chicken tenders and fries because I love the chicken tenders there.
Your favorite. Yep. Very good.
And then after that, we went swimming for a while. And then after the swimming, we went to bed.
because another early morning the
Yes.
next morning. So these kids, they
Okay.
really powered through. Like they started out
Yeah.
exhausted from their ride down and they were up for breakfast and not necessarily rope dropping the parks every morning, but darn close to it if they weren't there for
Okay.
rope dropping, which is tiring, but also, I mean, they're teenagers, so they can
Yeah.
handle that way better than I can.
Yeah.
And, once in a lifetime opportunity for a lot of these members of the band to be able to get there and just gave them the most value for their experience being able to spend as much time as possible inside of the park. So, what park was next?
Magic Kingdom.
Mhm.
I think it
Okay,
was the
back to the
most stressful
castle.
but most fun day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it was like trying to meet our fast passes on time.
Now called lightning lanes.
Yes, lightning lanes.
Lightning lanes. We had lightning lanes that morning, and we had a whole gang of us this morning. This was the one morning that my large group stayed with their large group all together. So we had the grandparents and the teenagers all together for this
Yeah, it
one
was
morning. It was a
that
lot.
group.
And then like other people popping in. We would get to the point that the cast members would say how many, and we were like
15.
20 plus, like I think we
Yeah.
had 16 on Jungle
Just
Cruise.
count us off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just have our own boat and skipper,
Yeah.
please? Thank you. Actually, if we could just have the microphone, we've got this. But,
Yeah.
but we did a lot of castle photos first.
Yeah,
Right?
a lot of them.
Which I'm sure they really loved. I was like, stand here, I'm gonna take your picture. Okay, go get your picture. They're all like,
And since we were Disney bounding, my group, we were all dressed up as different characters. Like I was Goofy, so I was wearing my orange shirt, a vest, and a pair of jeans. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
And then we made
So,
sure.
well,
Oh, go ahead.
well, I was gonna ask, so were there any teenagers in your group who had never been to the Magic Kingdom?
I think,
definitely.
yeah.
Yes.
Definitely
Yes.
in your personal group? Because I think that's so special to see them see the castle for the first time.
Yes.
It's like truly astounding. Like when I first
Yeah.
got there, my first trip, it was like beautiful.
Yeah.
I positioned
you don't
myself
expect
at the end of Main Street so I could watch them walk down, and I waited for them there, and it was amazing. I don't know if they all loved it, but it was great for me. But yes, they all.
Yeah.
And so my little Annie, who was kind of their group leader, she can get a little Rambo. She may get it from me. We love her dearly. She knows her Disney parks in and out. She could survive any amazing race inside of a Disney park. And you
Right.
know that, Rachel. But I said to her I knew they were approaching in the bus. And I said, Annie, you need to just slow it down this morning. Let them enjoy that stroll down Main Street and take it in because there's nothing like that first time for some of them.
Yeah.
So they did do that and had some time. And that's why I waited for them at the end of the street to make sure to get some photos of them arriving and everything. But then, like you said, it was lightning lane time and we had a schedule.
Very, very strict schedule. We hit one right after the other. And I think our first one was Haunted Mansion.
Yep. Started
Okay.
on Mansion.
That was my second time on Haunted Mansion, and the lightning lanes just made it so much better because there was a lot less standing in line for at least an hour and a lot more enjoying the
Mhm.
rides. So we got to go on a lot of rides at Magic Kingdom. I think a couple of them, Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World. It scared me. I was a little bit scared of It's a Small World.
Well, I did not ride It's a Small World. So that must have been later in the day. I think so.
Yeah.
We did Haunted Mansion, and then we did Jungle Cruise, and then we did the Tiki Room.
Yes, the Tiki Room.
Okay.
That was not a lightning lane, but it just worked out well that between the Jungle Cruise and Pirates lightning lanes, we did Tiki Room. I didn't know one of the kids was terrified of birds until we were in.
Yes, we had one
Oh.
trip that was absolutely petrified of birds, and I
One of
already
the first timers, so she didn't know any better, and we didn't know.
Oh,
And
no.
well, I
Well,
knew.
they're all
I'm
fake,
so sorry.
so
I'm so sorry. You knew?
I knew. I
We're
knew.
in there, I'm looking down, and she's like covering her face. I'm like, what is going on? And they say, she's terrified of birds. And I was like, why are you making me torture
So,
this girl?
I knew before we got in line that this room was going to be full of birds, and I knew that Haley was petrified of birds, and I kind of did it on purpose.
That's not nice.
We were
It's-
videotaping.
I am sad with you. They were recorded.
oh, poor girl. I hope she's not listening to this.
I hope she is, so she knows what he's like, because I'll tell her.
No, they got back at me. They got back at me.
All right, so after that, we did Pirates, and then I split off from you because I went to lunch. I don't know what you did after that. What'd you do?
After that, we made our way to Tomorrowland, and we rode one of my favorite rides, the PeopleMover.
Yeah.
I just love watching people down
People-
below. Yeah, I'm a people watcher.
People watching on the PeopleMover. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was watching down below, and then we got to Space Mountain, and the lights were on. So we got a videotape of Space Mountain with the lights on.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
was pretty
treat
cool.
for
It
sure.
looks wild in there, doesn't it? Like,
Yes.
really crazy. And you see how close all the tracks really run to one another that you're like, whoa,
Mhm.
all of that is right in there, all compact that
Yes.
way. Pretty cool.
It was
Yep.
pretty cool, especially for it being my like second time there. Just being
Mhm.
able to experience something like that, it was really
Mhm.
cool. After that, we went to Laugh Floor. That was my
Okay.
first experience with Laugh Floor. I didn't go the first time I was there.
Did you laugh? Was it funny?
I did laugh, and
It's
I thought it
funny,
was
isn't
really
it?
funny.
Isn't it great? Yeah, Missy and I both love that show. It is very underrated, I think, because it's so unpredictable and it's so different every time. So anybody in your group get chosen for anything?
No, but we really thought the light was on me for a second for Mike Wazowski, and it was not.
Okay.
No, it
Oh,
wasn't
I'm
you.
sorry.
Let's try again next
Next
time.
time.
You could have been the star, Parker. You could have been that guy. Maybe you need to wear a shirt that says, I want to be that guy.
I wanna be this one.
This is my goal. Yeah. All right. What's
Dress
next
for everyone.
So after Laugh Floor, I think is when we made our way over to It's a Small World. And I am
Okay.
petrified of dolls and anything like that. So that's where they really got the revenge on me with It's a Small World from the Tiki Room, because I am petrified of dolls. And I was just like sitting there on the boat next to Haley. I'm just like, I'm petrified. And she's like, that's what you get.
That's your payback.
Yeah, that is exactly what you get.
The
I hope you got
atypical
stuck too,
teenagers.
Parker.
And then after that, we just went down to the main strip and we were just
To
shopping.
Main Street shopping for the day.
Okay.
Was it evening by that point?
Yeah, it was. It was about nighttime. It was about ready to go.
Did you eat in the park?
Yes, I ate at the lunch place in Tomorrowland.
Cosmic Race.
Okay.
Yes, Cosmic Race.
Cosmic
What did you eat?
Chicken tenders.
All right.
I see a trend. Did Annie tell you all that chicken tenders were the only thing you could eat?
No, but it was a lot of
Because they're Annie's favorite, so I'm just wondering.
that and Mickey waffles.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, it's good choices, at least. Okay. And that was it? You stayed to see the start of fireworks, at least, right?
Yes.
You saw them I think you gathered at the end of the day down near the train station, right?
Yeah, after the
Okay.
Moana section, we saw the light parade.
What Moana section?
There's
You're
a
out of
Moana section
order,
of-
dear.
During the fireworks, there's like a Moana song that plays.
Oh, okay.
I'm obsessed with Moana.
I thought you meant the ride with Moana. Did you go on the Moana ride? No, it's not Moana. Tiana. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What?
There's a
Okay.
Moana walkthrough at
now.
Epcot, but yeah.
You know, come out with Moana ride, I'll happily ride.
There is a Moana area in Epcot. Did you get to that?
Mhm.
Your tour guide's the worst. I don't know. What
It's really easy to miss. I have not even walked past it my last 2 trips because
Yeah.
it's easy to avoid, to be
kind of
honest
off
with
the
you.
off the beaten path. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you saw the light parade,
Yes.
which is very fun. I'm glad you got to see that. Where did you watch it from? Do you know?
From Tiana's, right
Okay.
next to Tiana's.
Bayou Adventure.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
Frontierland you were.
You know what, Parker? I haven't even seen it, so good
It
job.
was really cool. Like all the floats with the lights, it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
It's
the
been a
night-
long time since they've had a nighttime parade, so.
Yes.
Now, just real quick, when you say buses, I'm assuming, did you guys take your charter buses to and from the parks? I'm assuming so that way they could make sure they had everybody.
For most of them, yes, but Magic Kingdom, actually, we had to take Disney transportation from Pop Century there and back,
Okay.
which was very, very, very stressful because we all had to
Yeah.
make sure we were on a bus ride with one of the chaperones. So at least one
Okay.
of the chaperones had to be there at all times. So trying to get all the kids on one bus was the chaperone. So we ended up splitting up with like 4 different trips, and we had to wait for everyone to get there and everyone to get home
Gotcha.
before we could go back to bed.
So,
Okay.
and obvious, I'm assuming you probably know, Rachel, the reason they did that is because if they had taken their own charter buses, they would have been dropped off at the transportation and ticket center, and then they
Right.
would have been dealing with riding the ferry boat or the monorail over, which would have also required them to possibly have to divide up. So they're, like I said, our band directors are fantastic. They're very smart with how they do this. Even though they didn't have to spend the entire day with the chaperone, they did do digital check-ins with them where they sent photos during the day to show where they were. And anytime coming or going from the park, you were with your assigned chaperone. So they knew that the kids got there safely. So I think all of the days besides that day, you took your own buses, which worked well. But for Magic Kingdom Day, they did ride the bus from the Disney
Okay.
provided bus from Pop Century.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, by that time, it was well after 9 o'clock. So
Yeah.
back there and to bed, I'm assuming.
Yeah, right to bed. I was really tired.
I think they do that on purpose. I think they're getting you up early in the morning so you do go to bed at night. So
It's-
that makes sense.
secret is out, Rachel.
Yeah. That's what I do with my kids at Disney
Teacher
World.
trick, mom trick. Yep.
Yep.
And then the next day, Wednesday, was
Hollywood Studios.
no.
Okay.
Epcot.
There you go.
Epcot. Yeah,
Oh,
Epcot.
wait, which one?
It was
Yes.
Epcot. It was definitely
Epcot.
Epcot
Okay.
day the next day, and you were there bright and early again, right? You had
Yep.
breakfast at the hotel and then headed to Epcot on your own charter buses.
Yes. So once we got there, first thing we went to was Test Track, but we actually never ended up riding Test Track. Like when we got there, it was closed down, so we kind of just like went and did something else. So we went over to Soarin' and we rode Soarin', and that's where I lost my poor hat. It was gone.
Oh,
I accidentally
I'm
left it
sorry.
in the compartment.
You did not check for all of your personal belongings.
No, I didn't, and I forgot. And I was already too far gone because we were on our way to our reservation at Beer Garden in the Germany area of Epcot, and we were already about to be late for it. So Annie went all Rambo mode and sped ahead all the way up to the German section of Epcot.
She did not want to be late because she's aware of the penalty for being a
Yeah.
no. So
She's
yeah.
not going to be charged $10 per person.
Right. You must have done a couple other things. Did you do Guardians that morning?
Yes, we did.
What did you ride Guardians or did you stay off of it?
I stayed off of it, but I
Okay.
went through the line, and I thought the line was very beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful line.
It was a beautiful line. I really like the swirly section right at the beginning because you like have these queue lines that are just like wrapping around. It kind of looks like a gouge. Like the whole thing that's on the ceiling, the projection. It was really cool. And
Did
then,
you do the
so-
Nemo ride or the Living with the Land ride?
we did Nemo, and that was right before Soarin'.
Okay.
Yeah, so we went on Nemo.
Did you go in Spaceship Earth, the big ball?
Oh, wait, yes.
Really?
I did.
I think you did a lot. Oh, that you did that
Okay.
later. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
After Beer Garden.
After Beer Garden, then we went to the Epcot Ball, and we went on the Spaceship Earth. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Spaceship Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. So they are students, of course, and this was also an educational trip for them. Some of them do take a German class. Annie takes a German class, so they decided to eat at Beer Garden, also because it has some musical entertainment, and these are musical kids. So I think that was a pretty good choice for them. When I mentioned it to
Yeah.
some people, they're like, "You sent them to a beer place?" I'm like, "Well, no, not really."
But we did have a lot of
They
fun.
still ID. So
Yeah.
But there was like didgeridoos, a really cool looking old tuba, which I'm a tuba player, so I was like,
There
immediately,
was what?
okay.
What did you say there?
a didgeridoo. It's
I
like,
thought you stumbled on your words there. That's a real word. What
it's
is
a real,
that?
it's a
Yes,
really
it's
word.
a real word.
So
I
a
think he's talking about the Alpine horn.
yes,
Okay.
That they
Like
play.
the thing I call the Ricola horn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a really long wooden tube that like curves
Okay.
at the end,
Okay.
and I because the ones in Australia are called didgeridoos.
Okay. I don't know. I've never heard that term before. So, okay. Have you heard that, Rachel?
I have. It's an actual term.
Yeah. Well, Parker
He
has
didn't just make that up.
educated me today. Very good.
And then there was the tuba there, which I'm a tuba player, and I was immediately locked in. I was like, that's so cool, and I just love tubas.
I didn't realize there was a tuba there. Wow. So that was a good choice for
Yeah.
you guys. Smart moves, smart kids. They're
Yeah.
prepared for the world ahead of them, I tell you.
Yes.
The Disney World, at least.
Yes.
Did you do
What do you think
anything
of World
else?
Showcase?
Did you do anything else in World Showcase after you ramboed around the world to get to lunch? Or were you just done there and then went back? So the countries, World Showcase is the countries part. Did you stop anywhere
So
else?
we went backwards because we walked past Mexico and all of that area, and we went back because they reopened Frozen early, so
Oh,
we got
yeah.
to see the brand new animatronics, and they were so nice looking. I never saw them before, but I like saw videos online of them, and they were kind of glitchy a little bit. But I saw them with like the real faces. I thought it was really cool.
Would you say you're a Frozen fan?
I am a Frozen fan.
So Parker's also involved in musical theater, and he was recently in a community production of Frozen. He was in the ensemble for it. We went to see it. It was very cool. So I just wasn't sure if you actually enjoyed it or if you were just stuck being
Do
in
you
the
hate it now?
yeah, maybe you used to love it and now you hate it. I don't know. So
Yeah.
I definitely need a good break from Frozen for at least a little bit before I get back into loving the music again. I think it was just because it lasted so long because we had 3 weekends of shows.
right.
So I was just
Yeah, that
very
is a lot.
tired of Frozen.
That's a lot to take in. You just can't tell me you hate Frozen because then I get a little ragey.
Right. Yeah.
Rachel seemed to get like that at people.
You
before.
will be banned from the house. Yes.
Everybody's
Episode's
entitled to their
over.
own opinion, unless it's
Yeah.
the wrong one about Frozen. I kid. We just have a joke with our friend Katie about that because she said it once and I was just so floored. I couldn't believe she was like, I was like, who hates Frozen? Have you
Yeah.
ever actually seen it? Probably not if you hate it. How could you hate
And then
it?
she tried to throw me under the bus for things, but I don't
Right.
hate Frozen.
Yeah,
So
it was. She was like, well,
she had
Rachel said
nothing
this
to
about this ride. What do you think? But Rachel said this. I was like, I don't care about anything else right now. Anyway, so yeah, that was cool that they opened Frozen a whole day ahead of what was originally scheduled, which wasn't super surprising, but you just never know. And
Yeah.
Parker wasn't in the gang of kids that got stuck, but I don't think you were you? There were some kids that had to be evacuated from the ride that day right after you guys. Yeah, it stopped running and they had to escort them off of the ride.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We could talk
Yeah.
about that
That's
later.
a Disney rite of passage, by the way. Just
Being able to get evacuated off
Yeah.
ride. It's a
You
big
wanna be
deal. It's Annie's
evacuated.
dream. It hasn't come true for her yet, but
We missed it like
and you
by,
just missed it. Yeah.
we missed it by like 30 minutes and like almost all of the parks.
Yeah.
It was crazy. After that, I kind of split off from my normal group, and me and my roommate, we went to the Cool Kids Club and we tried out the sodas.
Club
Oh,
Cool.
Club Cool.
Yes.
Club Cool, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes. Tell us about
Okay.
how you liked your drinks there.
Well, I liked most of them except for the one from Italy, which
Are you
is
sure? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
and then, well, my brother, who's also in the band, he went there to beat my dad's record of when he was there from band. And my dad chugged 3 of them before giving up of the Italy sodas. So then my brother went there and he chugged 4 of them.
You're talking about the Beverly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay.
Whatever. So I was like, I'm not getting beat by my little brother. So I go there and there's a video.
What family move? Wow.
Then there's a videotape of me chugging 6 Beverleys. Then after the video, I was like, yeah, no reaction. And then after the video, I was just like sitting down on the ground. I was just like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Instant regret. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that it was that bad going into it, or
No, I didn't even taste
Okay.
test it. I just went right for the chugging 6 of them.
It's probably best to do it that way because if you knew it was coming, you
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
have been able to power through as well.
And then even worse, right after that, I went on Mission Earth and
What are you calling Mission
Mission
Earth?
Space?
Mission Space to Earth.
Okay. The green side?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
went
after
to space?
even
When they like blast you off, like you're oh wow.
and you're pushing the buttons.
Yes.
Even the green side, even though it's less intense, I mean, you still have quite a bit of movement, and chugging 6 awful carbonated beverages
Yeah.
would not be fun.
No.
That
So
was the roast, Parker. I didn't know you did that.
and then after that ride, I was just like, I was done with walking for today, so I needed some chill rides. So I went back to the Epcot Ball and I rode that ride again.
Okay.
Again, nice.
That's a good one for after chugging 6 Beverleys to,
Yes.
settle your stomach.
Not a good one for if you needed to get out to the bathroom.
That's true. You're stuck. You've been there a while.
You get stuck up there in the Stars 2 line. That can go poorly. All right. Was that it for that day there?
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
we watched like a light show that was on the ball.
Right. Yep. The
Yeah.
ball itself lights up and
Yeah.
there's some music and things. Yeah.
Did
that's
you
cool.
like that? That's one of our favorite additions to Walt Disney World as of
So
recent.
the lights didn't
videos.
used to be on there. They just added those
Yeah.
a few years ago.
I thought it was really cool. I've never
Yeah.
seen it without them.
Okay.
So I thought what they did was cool, and I love how it was like a bunch of different fading lights.
Mhm.
Especially being a theater kid, and I love doing like lighting stuff and stage crew. It was really cool.
All right. So is that it for that day?
Yeah.
Only 2 more days left, you guys. All right.
Wow.
2 days and 1 day.
One day.
Oh my goodness. Only
Wow.
1 day left, you guys. I was gonna say, wait, we've been to all the parks except one. Okay, so what's left, Parker?
Hollywood Studios. So when we got there, we immediately went to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway.
And I think this was another day you had Lightning Lane, right? So you had Lightning
Okay.
Lane for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, and then you had the individuals, the single pass for Guardians the day before. But that was it for the week for Lightning Lanes for them. So this is a little bit more structured of a day, or of a morning at least, I think, because you had the Lightning Lanes, right?
Yeah. So the morning we started off with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is from my last trip, became my favorite ride because I love trains. I was
Okay.
obsessed with them when I was younger. With Thomas the Train especially. But I loved that ride. It was one of my favorites, especially the waterfall section where you go down the waterfall and then you end up in like the underwater section.
Bird, no.
I just got so immersed in like the storytelling for that ride. It was great. I loved it. It was like being in one of the episodes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So mission accomplished there by the Imagineers. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
And then after that, my friends went on Tower of Terror, while me and another friend, we went shopping in the Broadway section.
Okay.
So like on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah. Okay.
We were specifically on the lookout listening for Anything Goes to play, because that's the show we're doing right now. And
Okay.
as soon as it came on, I just started doing my choreo, and my friend just started looking at me like I was insane. I'm like, it's my choreo, it's my choreo.
Because maybe you are. So yeah, Anything Goes is one of the songs they just play like in the background, the instrumental music of when you're going up and down Hollywood Boulevard and through that area of Hollywood Studios. So that is their spring musical that's coming up the beginning of May. That's
Wow.
so very
So
exciting.
excited. But after that, we made our way over to the Star Wars area, and the first thing we went on over there is Star Tours. A lot of people don't handle Star Tours well. One of our friends didn't, and he ended up getting very kind of sick. But
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I don't know how, because I usually don't like rides like that. I really like Star Tours. And then we made our way to the Star Wars area, and that was cool. And that's where we ate lunch at the canteen there.
Okay.
I think Docking Bay, right?
Yes, Docking Bay.
Bay.
Our way over, and we rode Millennium Falcon. Just me and a couple friends before riding Millennium Falcon again.
Wow, so you can handle all those rides without getting nauseated. I can't do Star Tours or Millennium Falcon without being sick.
No, I don't really have a problem with it.
Okay.
Usually I'm really
Did you get to be
bad
the pilot?
Yes, I did get to be the pilot. I got
Okay.
to be the up and down pilot. I was just
Okay.
getting yelled at the entire time. It was really great.
Yes, absolutely.
Sounds fun.
They're like, go up, go up. I'm up as far as I can go. They're like, go
Yeah.
up.
It's great now. When they used to pair you with strangers all the time, it was always really awkward because it's hard to yell at strangers when they're not driving well. But with your friends, you can yell at them.
You can yell at them
Yeah.
as much as you want.
But for that, the first time I was an engineer, and the second time I was the pilot, and it was a great experience, especially getting yelled at by Miss Rambo.
Oh, you rode that with Amy? So she's the one that was telling you to go up. Now it's making sense. I didn't realize you guys have joined back up at this point. Oh,
Yeah,
what was she?
she was an engineer.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And then after that, we went back to Tower of Terror. We rode Tower of Terror, and by then it was time to go home.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Busy day. Did
Yeah.
lots of things. Did you do Toy Story Mania?
Oh, wait, yes, we did. I forgot.
Okay.
We did Toy Story Mania.
He told me he didn't need notes.
I didn't. I don't.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a lot to the parks. It's a big area.
It is. I'm just thinking of places that I knew they had lightning lanes that he hadn't mentioned yet.
Okay.
We went on Toy Story Mania. Luckily, I was not against Annie. Annie's really good at that game. The other two Disney veterans that were in our group go against each other.
Okay.
Who won, do you know? Did Annie win?
No, I think John won.
Ooh.
And then I went against one of the first timers, because it was also my first time on Toy Story Mania.
Okay.
It was interesting to be able to like interact with the rides, like the ride there, unlike the other rides I interacted with before. So like I got to like pull the string, and like I would shoot the balls at it, and I was like, oh, it's different. It was very different. I'm not used to rides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you ever do the Buzz Lightyear one at Magic Kingdom? Did you do that there? No, it was
No,
closed
it was
this time,
closed.
probably. Yeah. So they're redoing that one now, and it's going to reopen soon. It's kind of been outdated for over 20 years, and it hasn't really worked that well. So I'm hoping it's going to be
First
just
time
as
I
good
went
as
to
Toy
Disney,
Story
I went
Mania.
on
'Cause,
it.
yeah. All right. And then what?
And then we made our way back to the hotel.
That was it.
I
Okay.
think it was it.
That
Wow.
was it. Wow. So one final night of sleep in the real bed, and then the next morning you're on the bus again
Yes.
because they got all the way to Florida, and now they needed to get all the way back to
Back.
Pennsylvania.
The second bus ride was a lot more, how do I put this, chill, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. I guess everybody's tired at that point.
Everyone's really tired. I still did not sleep whatsoever, but we stopped at Buc-ee's, and that's when we got the onesies, and we posed with Bucky for the onesie picture. And then,
The Bucky statue outside.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
we made a couple like late night stops, just to use the bathroom, buy snacks, stuff like that. And then we were home in the negative
Okay.
weather, and it was freezing.
Oh.
Okay, so is there anything that you did that you would say was your favorite part of the trip?
I would have to say probably Mickey and Minnie's, because I just love Mickey and Minnie's. It was
Runaway. Okay. It's a very fun thing. Is there anything that you would do different next time?
I would say maybe when I'm going back to Magic Kingdom, now that I've experienced almost all the rides, I wouldn't go as crazy with the schedule as we did. I
Mhm.
think more relaxed so I get to enjoy it more.
You'd skip Small World?
Yes. Yes, I would skip Small World.
No.
Okay. Any other final thoughts before we get into your top 5 of suggestions? No? You don't wanna, like, thank me for
Oh,
helping you organize your trip? Anyway, well, it sounds like it was a great time, and I have not heard of any issues that any of the kids had when you're dealing with 82 teenagers all in one place like that. That's a very big undertaking for the band, and they were able to successfully navigate the parks and enjoy themselves. Some of them had very planned days, like Parker did, and some of them just went into it with no plans at all. And I think everybody had a great time, no matter how they did it. So, thank you very much for sharing your trip with us. I appreciate it. And we will get right into Parker's top 5 rides for teens that are not thrill rides.
Parker, as you mentioned during your trip report, that thrill rides are not exactly your thing, but however, you still had a great time as a teenager at Walt Disney World. So we asked you to put together a top 5 list of attractions that a teenager would enjoy that are not thrill rides. So go ahead and start us out with your number 5.
all right. So my number 5 is the People Mover.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good one.
um,
It is.
I really liked it. The sights were great, but I feel like there's a couple more that I just like a lot more than I like the People Mover. But I just really like it for being able to see inside Space Mountain, the original plans for Epcot, the ability to be able to watch people.
When was the when during the day did you watch it? Was it daytime or was it dark out?
It was daytime.
Okay, daytime. I like riding it at night sometimes when I can because I think that Tomorrowland looks really pretty all lit up. So that's pretty cool too. But also, it's way cool to ride when Space Mountain lights are on. So, I mean, you win there. Absolutely. All right. How about number 4? What's number 4?
My number 4 is Soarin'. At first, I was a little bit scared with takeoff, but then after that, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Especially like just being able to visit all those different places. I actually felt like I was paragliding through all those different areas. It was just really cool, and I really enjoyed the experience.
Did you hear that they're doing a new version of it soon? So for this summer, they're starting for America's 250th birthday. They're doing Soarin' Across America. So it'll be a different video in different places across America. We don't know where yet. So that'll be pretty cool. And that I'm sure
Yeah.
eventually this original one will come back for everyone to enjoy, but we'll temporarily have a different one for a little while. So we'll have to follow up and watch some videos on that and see what it's like because it's pretty cool.
All right, my number 3 is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Just because of the slightest bit of when I was younger, I loved the movies, so I think that helped it get up the list a little bit more. Yeah.
So,
I think the
yeah.
animatronics in there look remarkably real considering they're so original, like, they're so old, and even back
Yes.
then, they made them look so, so realistic.
The Jack Sparrow, he
Yeah,
looked
Jack
very realistic.
yes, he's a newer one, obviously, he wasn't in there before the movies, so like, he was added in once the movies were made. Do you know that the ride existed before the movies were made?
No.
So it's a very unique thing. Yeah, so it's like an original thing from back when the park first opened. So we're talking about like 50 years plus. And when were those pirate movies made? Like 25, 30-ish years ago they started
Like 20. Yeah. I just feel like I just aged a decade
so
right now.
much, yeah. So much there. Sorry, Rachel. Yeah, so it's a super unique thing because it became such a popular ride that they actually made the movies based off of that ride. And then they added in the Jack Sparrow animatronics.
I did not know that.
Do you know that one time several years ago, I'll just keep throwing stupid facts at you that I know. Several years ago, Jack Sparrow himself, Johnny Depp, showed up there and was seated at the end of the ride where he's sitting in that room to surprise guests. And now every time we go, Annie like looks like as if he's like really gonna be there because it happened once like 20 years ago. And cheer him. It's the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
And I do
And there's
too.
an
I
urban
admit it.
legend.
I always look because, like, what if it's the day? What if he comes back? Although he's also aged a little bit, but I mean, just saying. Yeah.
All
So
right.
very cool. That's a good one for what was that? Number 2, 3?
That was 3.
That was 3.
3.
So
Yeah.
it's 2.
Number 2 is Toy Story Mania.
'Kay.
That one also got a little bit from childhood memories of the movies, but I also really liked how I got to interact with, like, the environment I was in, especially with all the targets and all the moving things. it just was very visually appealing to look at.
Yeah, the 3D makes you feel like you're right into it.
Yeah.
That whole Toy Story area of the park is pretty cool.
It is very cool. The way that they built it, the way that they put all the different things that made all of it go together
Mhm.
was very cool.
Even down to like the stamped concrete to make it look like the shoe footprints, and
Mhm.
they're giant because we're tiny. You're shrunk down to the size of
Yeah.
a toy when you're in there, so that's why everything is so big. And in Andy's backyard, yeah, super cool. So I could imagine when you were little, you liked Toy Story, huh?
Yeah.
It's cute, super
Big
cute.
Buzz Lightyear fan.
Those movies make me cry though. I can't even
Yeah.
watch them. They're like a tug at your heartstring kind of things. All right, what do we have? One more left?
Yep.
All right, let's hear it.
Number one is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's just because it is solely because I just really love trains and how I actually felt like I was in an episode of Mickey Mouse. It was very, very well thought out, very well made. Like it really made me feel like I was a cartoon character.
Aw, that's sweet. That ride gets a little bit of hate sometimes because it's newer and they took out a ride to put
Mhm.
in there. And
They
when you have hardcore Disney fans, changing things is tough, and they totally changed what's there to put
Yes.
us in. So it's
Yes.
great to hear a point of view of somebody who it's new for them and they love it
Mhm.
because, even though there's changes being made, the Imagineers are still on the right track there. Well, thank you, Parker. That was a great top 5.
That
I
was. Thank
enjoyed
you.
that. We do have a question, for a question of the week here from a listener. A listener question, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll just move right into that now. The question is, my daughter isn't certain if she wants to do the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique experience. So should I wait until we're sure to book that, or should I book that when my booking window opens? So Rachel, do you want to take that?
Absolutely. And I would say yes, as soon as that booking window opens, which for Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is on midnight of that 60-day mark. Make that reservation. Even if she is not sure, go ahead and have that reservation secure because those are probably one of the hardest to get reservations at Walt Disney World. There is only one location at the time of this recording that offers Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique on Olive property. So reservations can go quickly, they can be hard to find, and it can be really hard to find last minute ones. So it is better to have one and to cancel it within your cancellation window, which is very generous, than it is to have your daughter decide later on that she does want to go and reservations are hard to find. So I would always recommend make reservations first because you can go back and cancel them without penalty as opposed to waiting until the last minute to shore up some more plans because reservations could be gone. So that is a great question and definitely one that, like I said, is hard to get. It's a fun experience for little girls. And of course, little boys can go too and have makeovers as well. They have some knight and prince makeovers that are also very cute for little boys to take part in. And it's just a very magical moment and it will make your children feel really special. I can't emphasize that enough how amazing children feel for the rest of the day after that. So that's an
And
excellent question.
I want
Yeah.
to emphasize there something you said, Rachel, that it opens at midnight. It does not open at 6 a.m. like the dining reservations do. And I feel like maybe every week or so, I will see a comment in the morning in, whatever Facebook group I'm in. There's so many Disney Facebook groups out there.
Yeah.
I checked first thing at 6 when it opened and there was nothing even, my 60 plus 5 days or whatever. And that's because it opened 6 hours before. It opens at midnight. It is not the same as dining, which means you're not going to have a great night's sleep if you have to be awake at
Yeah.
midnight and then again for 6 a.m. on the same day. But if you want to secure it, you want to plan it for as far out in your trip as possible for the best
Mhm.
availability. So you have that advantage of being a Disney World Resort guest with the plus 10 days there. And make sure you're online at midnight to do it.
So if you have a question that you would like to submit, we would love to answer it for you. Please feel free to email us. We have 2 email addresses. We have podcast@storybookdestinations.com and a Disney Life at storybookdestinations.com. We also have some social media channels. You can find us on Facebook. Our group is a Disney Life podcast. And we also have a TikTok and Instagram where our handle is a Disney Life pod. We also have a YouTube channel where you can see the video of this recording and also watch some shorts through it. So we'd love for you to pop in and say hi there. Now, for our tip of the week. So, this tip of the week talks about resorts. Summer travel is coming up. I know a lot of people will be flying into Walt Disney World, and you may want a case of water waiting for you when you get there, or maybe have some snacks to get to the room. You can absolutely have groceries delivered to your resort even before you arrive. If you're arriving later in the day, you can have them delivered that morning. Bell services will hold those. But I will let you know that there is a $6 fee for Bell service to handle those deliveries. So don't be surprised when you see that $6 fee. However, I think that's a pretty generous fee considering that they will hold those for you. And if you get refrigerated items, Bell Services will keep those in a refrigerated section that they have there for you too. All right, Parker, thank you so much for joining us. That was fun to hear about Walt Disney World from a teenager's perspective, and what a whirlwind trip it sounded like. Lasting memories that you will remember for a lifetime. I remember going when I was in high school with show choir and things that I did with my friends. And so things that you get to hold on to for the rest of your life. And next time that you go to Hollywood Studios, you can listen for Anything Goes again.
Yeah, no, it was great being here. It was really nice being able to talk with both of you.
All right. Well, that wraps up our episode for today. And Missy, thank you also for joining me and for hosting Parker for us. And everyone out there, we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Make it a great day.